Alright, in this video I'm going to take a quick peek on Linux terminal. So to start with, terminal is basically a character device which allow you to input character and output stuff. Okay, so we have variant of terminal. If you use Linux or Unix based system, you'll come across with it. Okay, so I'm trying to brief you about the stuff, what is what. Okay, so first and foremost, because I'm inside a window manager environment, I can spawn up a terminal. Okay, now if I open up a, so this is a terminal, right? This is a terminal, and if I do simply write tty and press enter, see, it shows me what is the in Linux and Unix, everything is termed as file. Okay, so it is showing that this is a terminal number 4, although now there is a subtlety. The PTS you are seeing, I'm sorry, it is basically a pseudo terminal. In fact, the PTS stands for pseudo terminal slave. It's a slave. The actual it is the pseudo terminals are terminals which is a kind of bidirectional character device which start with something called PTY, and PTS is the slave. PTY is the PTY. This is the master. Okay, I'm writing for your convenience to understand. PTY is the master of pseudo terminal. Okay, and PTS is the PTS is the slave of pseudo terminal. Okay, so and it has got a bidirectional mechanism. Say if you ever enter a character, it is playing in both the part. Okay, so this is a pseudo terminal, what you are seeing at this moment on the screen. I run a floating terminal here, and I'm using ST. Your terminal could be different. It could be genome terminal. It could be XFCE terminal. It could be any other damn terminal you use. If you run it inside a X11 session, these are all supposed to be a pseudo terminal. And as I wrote right in front of you, you can see there are two parts. One is the master part, one is the slave part. PTY is the master part. Okay, PTS is the slave part, and these work in bidirectional. That means whatever the character you enter on both the devices, it will going to be echoed out on other places. Okay, so again, to show you, there is a file it will create on the dev ptmx. See, this is the file created by the PTY, which is the master side of the pseudo terminal. Okay, this is as you can see on the permission itself, we start with a C. As I mentioned to you, all the terminal devices are character devices. Okay, so that C, this C is denote for that. You can see the permission start with a C. If it is a block device, it will be start as a start with a B. Okay, so this is a pretty common thing, but once the pseudo terminal get initialized, it will create a DEP PTMX character device, which basically use this PTY and PTS, those pseudo terminals. Okay, now what is the, so let me show you. If I write, let me clear the screen, ps-ef grep tty. See, there are so many. As you can see, I have a few, and tty is started with a number padded to it. Like what we basically do, we change to tty at the console by pressing Control Alt and F1 to F6, right? If I do Control Alt and F3, see, I'm in a TTY. It is outside of X. Okay, this is a TTY terminal, which people generally get into by pressing Control Alt and F1 through F6. Okay, to get into this TTY. Now, so if I show you, so you can see the difference, that TTY is quite different, which has got no boundings with other program. It is spawned up independently. Okay, and or you might say those are called virtual consoles. Okay, virtual terminals. Okay, and now let me show you something. Because I know the path, so that's why I'm taking this route. I'm showing you the file. What is the file in Linux source directory? So let me write Linux. This is the location of my Linux source tree. It could be different to your machine. Okay, IO.c. If I spelled it correct, no. Okay, so I misspelled it. So if I go to this directory, here it is. So this is a file which will give an entry to the proc file system once Linux booted. This is the file is responsible for that. That is under a file system subdirectory, and this is called proc_tty.c. Okay, this is one file which is responsible for all your TTY related stuff. Okay, so you can see from the my cursor is hovering, handles proc tty, it's create a virtual file system. Okay, so if I do, and if I do cat, so if I write drivers, you see all the console tty and the virtual tty's all are enlisted here under this file. Okay, and I want to show you one more. That is just a alias to Emacs client, so don't worry about that. Drivers tty and tty. So there is a header file there. These are the files which related to all tty. Okay, so I'm just picking out one. So if I come here, so this is a file which has been revamped or enhanced feature by so many other people. As you can see, different people in different time, they have written or enhanced something to this file. Okay, so this is a file. You might look into it if you are inclined to know the internals of TT terminal related stuff. Okay, I'm showing it just for your reference. You might take a peek once you have the inclination. No. Okay, so this is one thing, and then so if you see, so this is the tty stuff, and this flag has different meaning. I'm sorry. So that U stands for you can unblank it, the W stands for you can write it. Okay, so the E stands for it is enabled, the C stands for it is preferable term tty device. Okay, P stands for it is a print K buffer. So this tty0 is the first virtual console where after booting Linux it lands there. Okay, so I'm not going to take you there because I'm running some specific program on that tty0. Once my system boot, I kicked off some program out of that, so the location will be having lot of information which will be irrelevant now, but tty0 is the place where once the Linux booted, it will if you boot in a textual mode, it will put it there in the first place. Okay, and I mentioned these flags which is attached with the tty. Okay, this 4:2 is a major number, minor number for all the devices having a major number and minor number. So that tty device is having a major number 4 and minor number 2. Okay, so this is a quick pick, and I don't know how much useful it will be to the people, but I thought to show you something. And you can certainly see there are so many other tty related files are there in the kernel source tree, so you can inspect these files in your pleasure or whatever you like to do, but I just want to bring it up that you can have a peek on it. So I hope this will be useful for some people. Thanks for watching.